Well, hey, Teddy. Hey, Mama B. And for all of you in the bushes, come out and say hi. Woo-wee, there's Jules. All right, I'm going to put some music on real quick. I got to make a phone call, and I'll be right back to tell you guys what's going on. Okay, back. Oh my gosh. Okie, she said, I'm watching the smoke from Bixby. It's huge. It's insane. Okay, so this morning we're doing the show about Summer Wells and all those goofy people around this poor little girl. And I was talking about this storm, and then we hear this boom. And I'm like, yeah, that was thunder. Well, it's not. Lightning hit a tank and it caught another tank on fire, and now there's 3 on fire. If you want to go check out my short, you can. So this is the haps. This is what's going on. They're telling everyone right now to shelter in place. That's the Okie way. So here we are today in Oklahoma. Yeah, I'm looking out the window. I'm looking right over my friend Angela and Bird's house. And oh yeah, I mean, it looks like tar in the sky. Shonda, my lover, where have you been? One of those tanks exploded in Ponca once. The shit that fell in the sky was crazy. I remember that. I do. So air conditioner is off. Fans are all on high until they get this thing put out. True story.
That moved through the Tulsa area. We had intense rain, thunder, and lightning. Stacia repeatedly mentioned how electrical these storms were going to be.
And they were. And they were. One of my friends in the Glenpool chat was at the Walmart and heard the explosion and was FaceTiming, or I don't know, took a video. I'll just put it that way. And you could see the top of the tank just blow up into the heavens. I feel bad for whoever gets that thing thrown down in their backyard.
And within a very short amount of time, Stephen noticed on the sky cam thick black smoke to the south. And again, then we begin to kind of process what is happening. We understand that this is that the Glenpool Emergency Services are on the scene. It's a liquid natural gas tank, 2 of them that we know of, that are on fire. I mean, look at that shape there. It almost looks like some kind of a pan with oil just burning off of it. Such intensity. And of course, these are fires that trained individuals have to work on. This, you just don't have anybody go out there and try to put out a fire like this.
I'm going to go ahead and say right now, extremely lucky no one's dead. Like, no one. Because I thought, oh my gosh, there's going to be a bunch of people dead. And there's not. And so this is not something that Glenpool Fire Department can put out. They're bringing in the big boys, okay? They're coming from Oklahoma City. We have like 3 different departments from Tulsa over. And I don't know what they're going to do. We got helicopters flying over. It's just one thing after another. It's really upsetting OJ on Appreciate Your Black Cat Day. So, and Okie Meemaw, I did not know you lived in Bixby. Why are we not having lunch every day? You're like 5 miles from me. My goodness. And lightning striking a tank and blowing the lid off of it is not that common. We're just freaking crazy that no one, thank goodness, died.
And oftentimes it just has to burn itself out. Again, no injuries have been reported. No other structures have been impacted that we're aware of. Again, this is 126th Street, right off of Highway 75, technically between Elwood and Casper. As we take a look at this map here, you'll be able to see most people who have.
Okay, so right there is where the tanks are. Now, I don't know if you can see my mouse. Let's see. Where am I? I would be, let me see. Nope, I'm on this side. Sorry. Nope. Hell am I? No, I'm not over there. This would be my neighborhood right here.
Traveled on Highway 75. You know, Glenpool is the oil capital. You know, that's where oil was found. All of those tanks that sit there right off of Highway 75, not certain how full they are, but clearly any amount of fuel that you would have in there it's combustible. So that's what happened earlier this morning. Speculation that it was a lightning strike, but as we've heard, they do believe that witnesses have seen something strike that and start the fire.
Okay, so we know the original tank had liquid natural gas in it. Didn't know there was such a thing. But we have a lot of those tanks that are over there that are full of oil. We have a lot of oil pumps in this town. Our main street is called Black Gold Boulevard. Hey, Shonda, I remember when that happened in Ponca City. What was in that tank? I can't remember.
And something that I've also noticed is that I see crews getting closer now to the tanks. And so the flames may, as they kind of burn and concave in, that they're starting to get a little bit closer to assess what's going on. Plus they have the sprinklers going. I'm sure a concern too is the ground around catching fire and then maybe spreading to another tank.
Well, in the other tanks, I mean, let's go back to that other shot here. You can see they are keeping the tank there on the right-hand side of your screen. They're watering it down, keeping it cool, because even that heat could intensify to a point where you would have a possible explosion there. So again, caution, keeping back, making sure people don't get into that area. Again, 126th Street, they evacuated a number of homes, apartments, and businesses around that area. This is right basically across the highway from the Walmart and that big center over there. So I know a lot of people have been watching this. We do understand that the Glenpool Public Schools are sheltering in place. That's strictly a precaution. It's tough because school just got started last week or so. And so
they're telling everyone to shelter in place. They're telling everyone, if you have to go somewhere, do not turn your air conditioner on. Keep your air conditioner, if you can stand it, off and run your fans. They are predicting it's going to take at least 24 hours for these suckers to just burn themselves out. They're putting foam and all kinds of shit on there. It's crazy.
Deal with another emergency crisis like this can be intense. Stacia, I know that you were gathering some details about how this has happened before, and of course the intensity of lightning and its impact on a structure like that.
Yes, and we know of 3 specific years that this has happened, something very similar to this in 2003, 2006, and actually 2023. So that was only 3 years ago. And 2 of those cases, it was lightning that did cause this. And again, we had the storms come through, but
Craziest thing. For those of you that watch the show this morning, when I said, yeah, I'm like, the storm outside is crazy. And I'm like, oh, that was thunder. No, it wasn't thunder. That was lightning hitting that tank and catching its ass on fire.
Act on a structure like that.
Yes, and we know of 3 specific years that this has happened, something very similar to this in 2003, 2006, and actually 2023. So that was only 3 years ago. And 2 of those cases, it was lightning that did cause this. And again, we had the storms come through, but back in those years, they also did shelter the schools in place. This is just the precaution that they do. So when the lightning comes in, lightning is so hot. It's hotter than the sun. We talk a lot about that in our schools when we go to talk about severe weather safety with kids, and lightning safety specifically has its own part of that show, because if you're struck by lightning, obviously that can kill you. So we want to make sure that folks are actually very aware of.
And everybody was really happy about the rain, because you see, 92 degrees feels a lot better than 101, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You go in my backyard right now. For one, it looks horrible, okay? It looks disgusting. Greg's going to be working like a 3-peckered billy goat this weekend. But it is hot as hell. These fires burn hot.
Lightning and being so hot that it can pierce a hole through metal. And so it pierces a hole through these tanks. And then obviously the oil and the gas inside those tanks explodes. And that's what happened this morning. We're not sure though if it was lightning that did that or the reason why they have the explosions. But we do, of course, have the big flames and the smoke going up over South Tulsa. Again, this is South Tulsa. So if you're not familiar with the area, we're talking the Jinx Glenpool vicinity. There's a ton of homes at 121st and Elwood. 121st and Elwood is open, but we are still watching the areas about 126th shut down. And they're not going to let folks probably go back into these areas until they have a full handle on the situation. The winds are really light, so we're going to see the smoke plume pretty much go straight up in the air and not disperse much. It's very heavy. It's very thick. You can see how dark it is too. So that is quite a scary sight when you're driving up Highway 75. And Highway 75 is open, but I would imagine folks are slowing down, trying to get a scope of like what is going on. And so that's probably, I mean, this might take a while.
Stacia, look at the side of the tank.
Yeah,
crumpled.
They're caving in on each other, and maybe they're designed to do that. I don't know, but for safety reasons and situations like this, I'm wondering if that's a design aspect to it.
That would
just
make
to keep
sense.
them from
spilling
out rather than to kind of spill in on themselves.
Yeah.
Just, I don't know.
Well, it is quite intense. And of course, Osage Sky News 6 gives us such an incredible view. Now, we do have crews on the scene and we have great shots of that as well. But to be up and over that tank farm, and we're very respectful of that area, making sure that our team is far enough away that they're protected. And the other thing that we're having to deal with in this is the airport, Jones Riverside, is just around the corner from there. So you've got planes that are landing. Can you imagine if you come in and all of a sudden you look down and what your markers, your land markers would just simply be covered with this black smoke?
It can be quite scary. And I'm sure the airspace has had to kind of alter its plans because of this. And so it's just something we got to keep an eye on. We asked Dustin Stone in the air earlier, can you smell anything? Because I was wondering what the smell is like right now. If there's a really strong odor, if you can kind of sense like the air might be super heavy or just any.
I don't smell anything. It's just hot. It's just hot. That's it. And lightning struck the top of that tank so quick, which lightning is fast, but this was like greased lightning. Okay? That tank lid flew up into the atmosphere. I don't know where the hell that thing is now. And all the shit caught on fire.
Changes that you can tell. He couldn't in the air from the helicopter.
Well, he was upwind.
Yeah.
So obviously and that's another thing to think about. I mean, what do you have what the wind speeds have been over this morning?
We had wind gusts about 20, 25 right after the explosions happened. So when the storms were coming through, obviously the winds were much stronger. But then as the smoke started to really go up, the winds kind of calm down a little bit, but it's a northeast wind, so it's going to push that smoke to the southwest. Dustin can't get in the smoke because of visibilities, obviously.
Yeah, of course. But anyway, this continues to be a breaking news story. It will continue most likely for most of the day. And of course, our crews are on the scene gathering firsthand accounts to what.
Now, this is where I should be JLR and go over and be Brooks on the scene. I don't do well with fire, you know. Now, if Shonda wants to drive from Ponca or Okemema wants to drive from Bixby, we could do it that way. With my luck, I'd get arrested right there because they're telling everyone to stay away. But if Shonda or Okemema wants to go with me, that'd be fine.
People saw, what people might have heard, what they are experiencing, and then obviously when they're going to be able to.
You all heard it on the show this morning when I went, oh, that's thunder. It wasn't thunder. That was lightning hitting the top of that liquid natural gas tank. So you guys are a part of this as well.
Get back into their homes. As we've mentioned, school is in session in Glenpool, so those kiddos are in class, and that's a all day deal. So the plan would be to keep them going through their studies as usual. I know that a lot of people get very anxious, especially for the littles. So I'm sure the communication from the Glenpool school district through all of their notifications have been able to keep parents up to date and up to the minute on what they're dealing with there in Glenpool. But again, just incredible sights. Now, Stacia, I've got two different angles here. Can I go back to the, yeah, I think I want to see, but that just showed you from a distance. Occasionally you'll see those big gusts of, or a big intense flames as it gets a hold of some of that liquid gas, natural gas, and then sets it off again with the fires. But it continues to build up.
You know, the weirdest thing, well, it's not even near the weirdest thing, so I shouldn't have said it that way, but about the Oklahoma culture. You can be told to stay away from fire because it'll burn you. And next thing you know, you got a bunch of Okies out there with coolers of natural light just standing outside watching the damn fire. You know? If you walk out on my street right now, like everybody is outside watching the fire. I try to get a hold of my friend that lives behind me. She said she's on another line and she'll call me back because she's outside watching the fire. And I'm like, They told everyone, don't breathe that air. And they're outside like they didn't ever recommend that. Whew. What to do? Don't worry, I'll be out there soon. I'm just letting you guys know what's going on.
That black thick smoke, and we're going to give you more information coming up today at noon as our crews continue to follow this story, or you can always get it online as well at newson6.com and all of our streaming platforms.
Or here, my goodness, did you not see me in the backyard taking a short and bitching about my pool and my yellow umbrella? Courtney goes, the sirens go off and we go outside. My favorite is when we all get together and barbecue, waiting for a tornado. That's always awesome. So this is live right now. There's no sound. And so that's what it looks like from another helicopter that's flying around. Yeah. And so this is in real time. You already saw the pictures from my short that I put up. And now I'm starting to become a hypochondriac, as if I can feel cancer growing in my body as I speak. So I've got to get that thought out of my mind and figure something else out. It's actually really fun, Courtney Michael. Shonda said, and yep, Hayden Panettiere, yeah, she did. She passed away yesterday. Yep, they said cardiac arrest due to an overdose. Man, I couldn't imagine being her parents because they just lost her son a few years ago. Helen Liver, are you prepared to evacuate? Yeah, as soon as they tell us where to go. But right now, no, we're safe. Like, Nowhere is safe. I mean, I would have to go to freaking Wichita, Kansas. I would have to go to Joplin. But I mean, all of this smoke, we don't know which way the smoke's going to be heading. That's why they told everyone, try not to use your air conditioner and shelter in place. Because you don't even know. Bama says, I have COPD and can feel this in my lungs just watching from Tennessee. It's something else. Any Okies in here? Shonda, Courtney, Okie Mima, or just anybody that has an opinion? Wants to grab the link and come up, because this is mess. This is a messy mess. This is a messy mess. I mean, and don't tell Karma I said this, Karma Libra, but we're used to all kinds of crazy shit happening in Moore, Oklahoma, and this is happening in Glenpool. The minute we hear something happen in Moore, we're like, so here we go again. Here we go again. And this is happening in Glenpool. I mean, look at that. Absolutely crazy. So now we're all on the same page. Everyone knows what's going on. Anything happens, I'll do the best I can to update you. Anything that happens, I will let you know, because the thing is what they're really worried about is an explosion. Now, that's the reason I believe that everyone should evacuate. So I got to talk that over with OJ. Courtney said 108 on Wednesday. Where, Courtney? It was 106. That's the hottest we've gotten thus far. Woo! Shonda said, Glenpool don't get Oh, you're in Moore, Courtney. I'm telling you, you guys wrote the book when it comes to tragedy. God bless you. God bless you. All right, if there's anything that you guys hear, let me know. Obviously, I'm going to keep my eye on this from my window and my patio. It's just jet black out there. It's crazy. Crazy. Karma said, oh, they're neighbors. Like neighbors as in you're in the same town, or like you truly know each other? I mean, technically, Karma, you, me, and Courtney are neighbors. We live in the same state. Hound Lover said, OJ says, fit me for a respirator. We're staying home, mama. Yep. All right, you guys. Well, I'll keep you updated. But as of right now, that's what's going on. And they're just saying it's going to look like this until it burns itself out. With logic like that, that means OJ and I could be firefighters. As in, we're not going to do shit. We're going to sit here and watch this, and it'll just burn itself out. I've never heard of such a thing. It's just going to have to burn itself out. Hey, so be it. Well, you guys have a great rest of your day, and check your notifications. And if something goes on, I will update you. Okay? You guys are the absolute best. Love ya.